Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Empire Pregame Show. Levack over here, Goz over there. Goz, you're going to be in the house. I'm going to make an appearance tonight. I'm going to tell that's my tease for tonight's game.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, sure. Some people are concerned about playoff football. I know most of you are wondering what kind of appearance I'm going to make this evening, and you'll have to be there to find out. It's only in-house, my friends. Only in-house. Playoff Saturday. It's just a different vibe. It just hits different, as the kids say. A little playoff action here at the MVP Arena today. How you doing, guys?
7 o'clock kickoff. Levack, the semifinals. The Albany Empire hosting a shot, an opportunity to get to the title game. They got to get by the Jacksonville Sharks. There's so many storylines to get to. I guess before we actually talk about the game itself and the playoff, we got to give love to where we are, right? Like, I know it's hard to reflect on a spot you're in, but the overall regular season champions, that alone is a great accomplishment for Coach Menas, for the franchise. Coach, I called him Coach Mike Corda there. I like that. Owner Mike Corda, for everybody a part of your staff, like, that's a big deal that the Empire are the top seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, back-to-back years, and what's that old saying? Like the reports of our demise were exaggerated because we had that losing streak, and as coach likes to say, you break the season down into quarters. We didn't have the best third quarter, but we're here, and this is all you can ask for, is a chance to defend your own field, and the guys are ready. And I heard you talking about it a lot, where the other teams were kind of like, oh, your roster's not built for Iron Man. Now all of a sudden they're looking at us going, why do you have so many good players? It's not fair, and it's like, okay, but I thought the roster wasn't built right. So, now it's up to the guys. You can do whatever you can do to make sure it's right. But today at 7 o'clock, Empire Sharks looks a lot like last year's playoffs, except for the fact that this is an interesting Sharks team. A lot of crazy things could be going on with this Sharks team tonight, and I'm fired up. I'm almost speechless just how different this one feels than last year's.
It feels different than last year's. It also feels different than the matchup earlier in the season, right? Like, because of the two matchups that jump out to me when the Sharks and the Empire played each other. We go way back to week 2 of this season.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Trayvon Shorts, get off the internet. Get off the internet, Mr. Shorts. You got work to do, Shorts. Get off the internet.
You keep doing your thing, Shorts. The best running back performance in Empire history. That's what he wants to hear. That's what he could do again today in the playoffs. We can add that best running back playoff performance in Empire history. He could be poised to do that today.
Remember, he's going against some big names. Michael Boom Boom Benson, Jay Rich, everybody like that. It's a big road to hoe, but he also hits like a truck. So it'll be interesting to see, what highlight reel that guy gets on the internet for us, whether it be running in touchdowns or hitting people and make them slide 5 yards, 6 yards in midair. He's don't worry, I'm ready. I know you're ready. You don't have to get ready when you stay ready, but still, Shorts, get off the internet. How dare you?
What I was getting at, yeah, he's the man, dude. I loved watching his development this season. One of my favorite players when he gets the ball in his hands to do things. I know we'll be shouting him out on the broadcast for sure today. The Jacksonville matchups, right? Like week 2 of the season, Mike Faithful, quarterback week 1, on the roster for the Sharks here week 2. Sam Castranova, you saw some of these highlights on CBS 6. There's my plug of Castranova in his debut as the starter in Florida. And then this was the travel issue game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like the Saturday scheduled game moved to Sunday, and the Empire really dominated that performance. But if you're a Shark fan, you have a lot of excuses as to why that team didn't play as well. It's hard to find out here for semifinal opener, game 3, if the Sharks are maybe potentially offering some excuses, because they could say like, hey, we weren't prepping for that quarterback and we had travel issues. Jacksonville has excuses if they want heading into this playoff, but we'll find out if those excuses help at all when your season's on the line today.
Knowing the guys in Jacksonville, it's not going to be an excuse situation. It's going to, maybe if they lose, there'll be some excuses out there, but I don't think you'll see them come from the team. They are a different team than we faced, with not even knowing whether it's going to be Arvell Nelson or Mike Faithful. Not, either one of those guys can bring it and sling it. It's a different team. So they are here. They were here yesterday. They're in the building. They're ready to go. We even, worked with them to set up their team meal in the building. They wanted to be in the no, they don't want any travel issues. It's not like, hey, we're going to go over and have lunch here or this, that. No, we're going right over to the building. We're going to get ready. So it's going to be, Jacksonville versus Albany. The other stuff's not going to matter. So all that in the past, I don't think you can look at this Jacksonville team the same way you do the team that the Empire beat twice this year. Not, it was, if anything, will be closer to that first game. I think these are pretty even teams. I think we've got more talent, but I think we have the most talent in the league, in my opinion. But obviously, that's what I'm going to say. It's my team. I love these guys. But no, this is going to be. I think the Empire needs to not do what we do to ourselves, and that's start slow. Historically, as Coach League said, we'd like to make things more difficult for ourselves than they need to be. I don't think we can do that against this Jacksonville team. I think we need to go out and handle business.
I think so too. And I think that matchup you mentioned there of 3 different Jacksonville teams it's looked like. Team in week 2, team for that Saturday, Sunday mix up, and the quarterback position changing. Nelson, right? Yeah. Or Faithful. I just like to drop that one more time just to see if he might get on the field. But that a really all-time great quarterback. Yeah.
And realistically speaking, who knows? Because Nelson, he had the ankle issue and stuff like that. But I think the quarterback scenarios for the rest of the season are insane. They're just insane. You know what I mean? Like we're going to talk about the other game coming up, but Mike Faithful is a UCLA guy. He's got a phenomenal arm. He's more of a stationary quarterback, which doesn't seem to fit Ironman football this year as well as the guys who can move around. But he's not somebody who's going to go lightly. I mean, you look at his numbers from week 1 for us, even though that was a loss against Carolina, he slung it. And then the way he started the last game for them, what was it? His first 3 drives were touchdowns, first 4 drives were touchdowns, whatever it was. But like he can play. He can flat out play. And Nelson, I mean, that guy he's one of the greats. So either of those quarterbacks healthy, ready to sling it tonight, it's not going to be easy for our defense, but they're ready to play. They're ready to play. I know that. I got to do this real quick. Yeah. I'm sorry. But when you see the architect, the guy who started the Empire here, George Menas, put in a comment, you got to get it out there. Pop it on real quick to wish Levack, Mike Korda, head coach Tom Menas, and the entire Empire team and staff best of luck tonight and their run to bring another championship to the 518. Thank you, George. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, man. I love that guy.
Shout out to George, man. Good stuff.
So I'm sorry. What were you going to say? I saw George.
It's a perfect. No. It was a perfect segue. Maybe George, if he's still with us, can even offer some insight in our comments section about the difference it feels like in comparison to a team he was with before, and even the team president in 2021, you as well in 2022. It feels like the vibe I'm getting is in comparison to past playoff teams, there doesn't seem to be as much pressure, or it's not being said on this Empire team as much. And that's a compliment. And what I mean by that is that the expectations were for a lot of seasons, okay, you've got to win it all. You've got to win it all. So many additions were made in 2021 where it was like, we brought you guys in for a reason. And I'm talking about like the midseason acquisitions of what happened with the Empire. Like, we're going for this. It seems like this bunch of players are veterans. They know they're good. They're confident in their abilities. They've seen these matchups before where it's kind of what you and Coach have talked about over the last couple of weeks here in July of, we know our roster is good. If we play our game, we can beat anybody in this league. There's no need to put extra pressure on this team. Are you getting that same vibe where like how these guys are conducting themselves going into this matchup is far different than past Empire teams in the playoffs?
It's definitely different. I think a lot of the reason it's different is the game's different. It is. Let's be clear. It's a different game. It's Ironman football. 2 years now working with Coach Menas, I look at it this way. Last year, he was constantly tinkering with the roster because he always felt like there was, what do we used to hear from guys in the NFL? Like every Tuesday, somebody's coming to take your job. Like he always felt like there was always somebody out there who he could slightly improve the way he was doing, what he was doing, whatever. There was a point in this year where you notice our roster moves just about stopped. And I think it's because this is the roster he wants to win with. And he flat out said in the coaches show this week, he feels like this team wins a championship together, and they're the team that for decades will reach out to each other and be like, hey, remember when we won that one at Albany? Like, this is the group of guys that you want to win with. So it's a different kind of pressure. Where like last year it was kind of like an FU tour, it was like new to the league, just got back in the building. People didn't even want us to play because of COVID, and it was like FU against all odds is what it says inside the championship ring. This one is, we want this one for our guys. Like I want this W for Sam Castranova, Darius Prince, who should be the first non-quarterback MVP this league has ever seen. like, Trayvon Shorts, who was just on, and Coach Menas, and Coach Ware, and Jay Rich, his first year as being a coach. Like, I want this win for them. Last year I wanted it kind of for me, even though I wasn't playing. But this year you want it for the other guys wearing blue and orange.
I have a prediction for this game, and like the etiquette of broadcasters, I follow the etiquette. Like, I don't pick the games. It's like people wonder why the broadcasters don't do that. We get enough grief on YouTube from people who watch the game, so there's no need of, oh, he picked us to win, I heard him, so he's rooting against us. That's why they actually don't do that for the little inside baseball there. I do have a prediction for this game, and it's something you've heard before with me standing on the sidelines. This game is going to fly.
Okay,
this game is going to fly, and especially in the first half. Because we saw a little bit of this in the San Antonio matchup where San Antonio tried to control the pace, and San Antonio's offense in the regular season finale was really good. The defense stepped up for the Empire in the second half, and that was the difference in winning that game. But in sort of like how Carolina did this, it feels like one of the strengths for a team is to keep Prince, Castranova, and those types of offensive impact players off the field. Do you think I'm crazy with this theory that the best chance Jacksonville has here in the semifinal matchup is to get that time of possession in their favor and try to keep those guys off the field, and that way speed up that first half in their favor?
I'm the one thing I know is it's stupid for me to start commenting on how this game will be coached, because when you look at the way Coach Menas' brain works, it's different. It's not mine. I don't think that way. There's a reason he's in charge of that stuff. So I don't think you'll see a scenario where he goes into this game going, okay, I want the first 30 minutes of game time to only be an hour. I want this, I want that. I think he goes into it. When you talk about clock with him, it's how much time can I get through these drives so that I keep my best players, my best unit, because the players are all great. He just messaged me directly and said, best team I ever coached, period. All caps for the period. How do I keep that first group together the longest for the most game time? That's what he looks for, I think, more than anything. So I don't think he's going to go into it like that. I think he's going to legitimately go into it like, how many possessions can I steal? How many points can I steal early? And then hopefully put this thing in a situation where, it's never in doubt in the second half. I don't you're the one guy I think if you could bet football the way people bet, fights where, it's going to be under X amount of minutes or over X amount of rounds or whatever, you'd love that. You used to do that to me all the time when we do the Albany games.
Albany, yeah.
Yeah. But I think there's not a lot of clock watching in the world of Coach Tom Menas. It's more scoreboard, it's more play, it's more making sure we get that W for these guys.
Can you read George's comments for our audio audience? He did actually write back for that comment I had asked.
Yeah, you had said that we were under less pressure, and George said, agree with Gaz to an extent. The Empire team assembled is the best in the league. However, the expectation is that you should win with all that talent, plus a target on your back based on all that talent. The pressure is there. I agree. There's a respect, team to team, player to player, coach to coach, front office to front office in the NAL, but they don't like us. We weren't supposed to come in and win in year one, and we sure as hell aren't supposed to be where we are now. So it's the target is 100% there. I talked to the commissioner today. Commissioner Siegfried and I were talking about some other stuff today, and I don't get the call that people get from the commissioner. I get, hey, Emperor Levack. I don't get, because I jokingly said I want to be the Emperor, not the team president. I get Emperor. Other teams will, tongue in cheek, call me the Emperor. It's an insult. You know what I mean? It's this arrogant fat bastard up in Albany thinks he's more important. It's one of those things that just, it's just there. You know what I mean? So my guy Casey Smith, who's one of the owners for the Lions. If you guys win, it's okay to look ahead. What day is the championship game if you host? That would be August 13th. If it's us, because this is what Coach hates. I'm not going to touch the money. If it is Albany, it'll be right here. It'll be August 13th. It'll be a 7:00 kickoff. And Casey and I are smartasses. That's why we get along.
I got two other things. I know the graphic on the front says Columbus, Carolina. I want to get to that matchup. I want to give shout out to Mohawk in a second. But let's give love for people who might still be thinking about coming out for Saturday night. They're looking for tickets. If you might have missed it earlier in the week, let's give love to the awesome partnership going on tonight with the Empire and Special Olympics.
Yeah. So, Special Olympics of New York, very near and dear, close to my heart. I've made some amazing friends with some great athletes and the people who run the office here. So we wanted to do something. So if you go to all of our social media, whatever, you'll see there's a link, even on mine right now, my personal Facebook and Twitter. If you buy a ticket through that, $5 donation goes to Special Olympics of New York. We'll also be honoring some of those athletes during the game tonight. Caroline, who runs Game Day Ops, has put together a really great, just fun way to get the guys and ladies out there, and we're just excited. And it's the beginning of a partnership with them. It's going to be, the Lawless family. They're my boys. It sucks because I know Eddie and his mom Colette are doing a baseball stadium tour. They've been to like 3 ballparks in like the last 4 or 5 days. So good for them. But that means they probably won't be there tonight. But I know a lot of the athletes that have been nice enough to let me hang with them and talk to them and be a part of their journey are going to be there tonight. So very excited. Make sure you come out, show some support. Not only is it great playoff football, but chance to show some support to these great athletes who represented New York down in Orlando for the U.S. Games.
Get your tickets, go out and support, especially when it's playoff football. It's for a great cause. Upstate New York, push to the capital. What is I saw that
another
comment.
Live show. Bracken, this is what I do. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like you think you're prolific because you go out there, you push some weights around and play some football. I'm on, man. You turn on the interwebs. I'm here. I'm ready to roll. I go. I'm a goer.
What's it going to take to get him on one of these shows? I think he wants on.
I think you just have to email him. I think you.
All right.
Country's a good dude. Maybe if the cards fall right, and it's Empire Lions for the second year straight, even though they've got a lot to do, I'm sure we could probably get Country to jump on the show real quick.
Country, the request is now in. I'll email you. I'll DM you if you want to make it official. I'll sign it.
Wait till after. Let's see how the game goes.
Fair enough.
Let's not put that pressure on Country just yet.
All right.
Let's see how it goes first.
Before we preview that Columbus, Carolina game, I want to give love to the Mohawk family. They are proud sponsors of the Albany Empire. If you watch the YouTube broadcast, if you're inside the arena, every first down is brought to you by Mohawk Chevrolet. Levack and I know from experience, we love the Mohawk family. We've both got great rides thanks to Mohawk. Whether it's Mohawk Chevy or Mohawk Honda in Glenville, Chevy in Malta. I don't care where you're listening in upstate New York, from Glenville to Malta, Saratoga, Lake George, wherever it is worth the drive. If you're out in Utica, Herkimer, drive to one of those 2 spots and trade in your vehicle. They are buying your car this summer.
And if you're afraid to make a drive of that distance, that's all the more reason you need to get to Mohawk.
That's exactly right. They will give you the price for your vehicle that you've had, and potentially whatever you bought, that number, it might be going back in your pocket, or you might be getting a new vehicle, or both. We love the crew out there. Shout out to everybody. Andy Gelcher, Greg Johnson, Lindsey Harridan, Cam and Brian McKenna. We can go up and down the list. John and Service and more. We love the Mohawk family. So this summer, trade in your vehicle. That supply chain is still so bizarre right now. Take advantage of it. Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevy, proud sponsors of the Albany Empire and Godzilla Media. Mohawk, where they always go out of their way to please you.
A buddy of mine's going there today. He's got family that works at a different dealership. He's like, Jeff, I need to get over to Mohawk. I'm going over there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, of course. Will you call ahead and set me up? I'm like, of course I will. No problem. Because they're going to do great by anyway. I don't really have to do anything. But I did, I reached out to the Hondiva herself, Lindsey Harridan. I was like, hey, my buddy's coming in. He's looking for this, and whatever. She goes, great, I'll be here. No problem. But it's still it's one of those ones where like I get to take credit for something that was going to happen anyway. Like, oh yeah, the sun's going to come up tomorrow morning. You're welcome. That's what I do. So it's kind of nice. I want to run through some of these comments real quick.
Yes, definitely. And shout out to everybody who's been joining the show. We appreciate you all being a part of it right now.
Yeah, Mary Jo jumped in right away. Let's get it, Albany. Said she appreciates us, and we appreciate you as well. I said we were giving Shorts a hard time. Ryan Becker, big sink because he used to be 55. Now he's number 4. He likes the single digits. I think it's slimming. I think that's why he likes it. And then of course our friends at Inside the Walls finally they've reared their not so ugly heads again. Playoff football is here, gents, and just a lot of great comments in here that we've been getting. Our guy Instacam, he's here. Instacam. Is he gonna do the Peanuts dance tonight?
Oh, I hope so. It had me laughing out loud when he was doing it last week on the broadcast.
It was great, man. He gets into it, made his own shield. One of these days, even though our shield probably weighs more than poor Cam, I might have to let Cam rock our shield for a little bit during a game.
Yes.
But we mentioned the quarterback situation inside the walls. Nelson, Bain, Mason, Nova. Damn. It's a lot, man. It's great. You know, speaking of Arvell Nelson, Becker coming back at us, Ryan. Arvell's a beast. Upset us once back when he was with the Valor. Remember that? That still upsets me to this day. Because remember, that was the 4-team league, and the Empire got off to a slow start and then started ticking. And while they were losing, I went on our radio show and said, hey, man, the way this is set up, you can win 2 games and win it all. And that's basically what the Valor did. I think they had like 4 wins that year. It was tough, man. But that's for real. You know, some of the South Colony guys jumping in. My guy Panucci. Let's go Empire. Going to my first game tonight. Good luck, gents. Love that you're going to be there, Jason. Can't believe it's your first game. I thought we were closer than that.
Well, Jason is a South Carolina guy. Do you want to give love to the stuff outside? Did we talk about D. Scott and the crew?
Yeah, another class of '94 guy. You know, it's our guy D. Scott from. He's not allowed to like promote himself on the radio station, but he's a KISS 102.3 guy. He's a radio guy. He's again another class of '94. Halleck's Hitting Garage. There's another '94 guy, another South Colony dude for you. Like I got that earlier this week. It's like, you guys just kind of stick together. I'm like, well, yeah, the ones who like each other. The rest of them would just leave out in the desert to die. But it's here we are.
That's the new wrestling faction. Those 2 plus
94s?
you plus Corda plus Bobby Fish will be the leader. That's the leader of that pack.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and our guy Henry, former Colony cop. Now he's doing lacrosse over at the high school. There's a lot of, we don't, and then the guys who left, there's guys who left the market who are, still, we still kind of like them, even though they abandoned us, whatever. My guy, Tommy Gross, let's get better, Jeff. I'm actually good right now. I'm good right now. And this is what was one of my favorite sayings during the pandemic. An overabundance of caution is what we're doing right now. Yeah. Tommy Gross, we need the Levackness back for the championship game. Trust me, I sprinkle a little Levackness around tonight. And it's the real. It's a different kind of contagious. Coach Hal, give them hell, boys. They will. Our guys will get after it. Charlotte Von Schiller. Wait, you're the president? She stole my job a while back. She did.
She cracks me up.
She like it was a problem. It was this is so we said we're gonna have country on the show. Ryan Becker, have him do the 1 bite ice cream thing, and then country. Fat Boy Finger Push. That is either the best name of a band ever or something we should all be afraid of. Just to do this one too. Our guy, the guy who got this going again, Mr. Rancherico, he must have found internet somewhere in Costa Rica because he's paying attention. Actually, he might be here. I'm not sure. There was talk he might fly up for the playoffs. So I don't know if I should say that out loud. I don't know if that there'll be dark forces waiting for him. Yeah, but I say this in almost every pregame show with Ron. I feel like the show Big Brother, there should just be a live feed of him during games and during weekends, just like a camera, like the live feeds. I just want to know what he's up to constantly. Maybe he won't like that idea, but I personally would find it entertaining to see what he does. You don't want that. Like there's, I used to have a saying when I cooked, never look in the kitchen of your favorite restaurant because you just don't want to see what's happening. Ron Tradico, you just don't want to know what Ron's up to. Ron lives a different kind of life. Like his give a damn is busted. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. I don't want to have you lead off with the predictions here of Columbus, Carolina, because you're so tight with some of the owners and players. I feel like you're going to get criticism no matter where. You want me to lead off with my thought on that semifinal game? Okay. Go ahead. Because it's a very intriguing game. Like I'm going to be like at some point tonight. I'm going to be force screening it. I'm going to be force screening it tonight because you got our game, you got this game, you got SummerSlam. I gotta keep up with you booger eaters. You got UFC. As a lot. By the way, I'm wearing the sleeves. I'm ready. I'm fired up for the game, guys. I got us. I'm repping us. We're gonna get it. So this is like Empire, the biggest screen, and then this game is gonna be on the second biggest screen because I think this is gonna be a hell of a matchup. For me, Columbus should be the favorite in this game. I know Carolina has been arguably until the last 2 weeks, and the Empire caught him. And Empire fans can argue in our comments. Sorry, Ron, go ahead. I'm not in Albany. Yeah, I get it. That's right, FBI. He's not here.
Gotcha. On YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, you could argue whether or not it's Carolina or Albany's been the best team all season. Albany, they're the top seed. They got home field advantage. That might just end the argument right there. But Carolina's been a really good team, and they beat the Empire a few times this season. Columbus right now is playing better than Carolina. Like, that's just flat out the answer. Like, the Lions are playing better than the Cobras, and the quarterback situation is far more steady, although Carolina's good. Like, Mason Espinosa is a better quarterback at this point. So if I get a veteran quarterback who's been in this spot before, a team that's playing better football, I would pick Columbus to win that game by like 7-8. I don't know, like, we can't wager up. If I had to set a line for that game, I would put it at like 7. Now, maybe that's crazy because they're on the road and a lot of difference, everything. I would feel like Columbus is the team that should win that game. And if I had to put money on it, I feel like the Lions are in a better spot. You can let us know if you feel different about that, but that's kind of my read on that game from a distance.
I think it is. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that, like, you were like, yeah, you bring back Mason Espinosa. Like, oh, they got better because they brought back the reigning MVP at quarterback. like really?
Ooh, good one, guys.
But do you know, like Jonathan Bain is active tonight. So, like,
yeah.
So there's a chance we could get the matchup. Before the season started, before Mason Espinosa said, hey, I'm going to go coach college football with my brother. Nerds like us are sitting there going, Espinosa versus Bain is a sexy potential playoff matchup. We might really get it. It might happen. Like, the bottom line is both these teams could be going back out there with quarterbacks that are gonna get after it. Columbus has been playing phenomenal football. The defense has been stellar all year. Starks is a scary, scary player on defense, and when you got Mason Espinosa, you just never know what can happen. The question for me with Carolina is, where's the chemistry at? Because you made a lot of big changes late. And as a team last year that made a lot of big changes, 4 or 5 weeks left in the season, it takes a second for that to gel. Like, you saw Malachi last year, as good as Malachi Jones is, he really didn't play his best football until the championship game, which he ends up being the MVP of. So, can they click chemistry wise? There's a lot to be said for chemistry. And I think this could be a 3-point game. I really do. Like, if you're giving me 7 points, I'll take the underdog. Or is it under Snake in this case? I don't know. Like, I honestly, unless you're putting a gun to my head, I'm not picking a winner in this game. I'm not.
I don't blame you because it's a weird spot to be in, and especially how tight these teams have been. I want to go back to something you had right between one of those sentences there. Go ahead. I saw that comment.
I'm just watching Ron. Like, I'm my guy Ron. He's like, no, I'm not. Again, I'm not in Albany. I'm in Orlando. I'm not going back to Costa Rica until the 16th. And are you guys coming with me? I've never been arrested. I've been detained once in my life. And I feel like if I went to another country with Ron, I would wake up in a jail cell. So no, Ron, I'm not coming with you to Costa Rica. I'm ready to hang out with you in Orlando, but I love you, brother. And I hope you come to town soon.
Ron, if you pay for Levack's ticket, I will be on there with you as well. If you pay for mine, of course.
If he paid for yours, you'd go without me. You freaking traitorous little.
He has my number, I hope. Anyways, Columbus and Carolina. I want to go back to something you said because it's really important and it really stands out. And you and I are going to get this reference because I want to give a shout out to one of our friends, Lynn, who we used to work with. She had this great line, and you told me this story. This is kind of like a business analogy here. When certain businesses want to market or advertise, people might get upset because you ask them what doesn't work. We're like, what do you mean what doesn't work? Well, you don't need to advertise or market yourself with me if you're not having issues. This is kind of the comparison here for Carolina. Carolina was so aggressive earlier this month in free agency. They wanted to add talent, or the other way you could look at it is they have to fix something. The reason you're bringing in talent is because you want an upgrade, or you feel like what you have currently on the roster is not the standard that you want. Now, that's for a different variation of reasons, right? Injuries, performance, maybe they're just tired, maybe they're running again. It doesn't matter. That's what the Carolina staff decided they were going to do. So if that's the case, there's an issue potentially with how Carolina's roster was built. So if you're telling me one team is adding a bunch of players before the most important game of the season, and the other team is playing the best football they've played all season, I'll take the second team. Like, that's another huge part of this. Even though they added talent and they're really good players, there's a reason why. And maybe there's more issues than we realize with Carolina. And Some of them are kind of coming out here in the later end of July.
Here's the deal, though. What was broken? Your quarterback. Bain was hurt. I mean, and Malik Henry had a really great game for you, and then he had a really bad game for you. And, you get a chance to bring in Tommy Grady. You bring in Tommy Grady in that situation. He gets hurt almost instantly, yeah. But no, I don't know. For me, again, it's you tell me that Mason Espinoza and Jonathan Bain are both playing their best football tonight. Unless you're putting a gun in my head, I'm not picking that game because I don't have to. But if you told me that Jonathan Bain looks rusty tonight and Mason Espinoza is slinging it, then I go Columbus. It's really great coaches, really good teams, a lot of talent out there, and either one is a worthy opponent on August 13th here at the MVP Arena.
Let's go. We are so close to the championship. So many good games on the way for tonight. No, we got an interesting spot here, Levack, too. I know we got a bunch of other comments we can get to, too.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
Dude, shots fired from our boys at Inside the Walls. 3 of the 4 teams in the NAL playoffs have won an NAL championship. Columbus has not. Oh, shots fired. Man. Shots fired. That's a low blow. What Jax has 2, we have 1. Carolina has 1. And what Carolina was 2019, I think they won.
2019, no. Jacksonville, 2018.
Yes, I'm sorry. Jacksonville, because Bain was with Jax and won. Wow.
Think about that. Jacksonville and Albany, the 2 most recent NAL champions in the semifinal matchup because of the 2020 canceled season. Somebody
upset. So, yeah, this again, country. That was inside the walls. That was not
inside the walls, not Levack and Goss.
Not us. That was inside the walls. Remember that. The dude carries a sledgehammer. You're gonna talk crap to him? I mean, that's ridiculous. He eats ice cream in like 1 bite. Come on, you're out of control.
I feel like I'm gonna catch you off guard with this, but we used to have fun. We could still bring back this nickname if you want. I haven't used it in a very long time. Levack was nicknamed at one point in his life Jeffy Scoops. You know how you got like Woj bombs?
That's true.
Jeffy Scoops.
I hate being called Jeffy. Just so we're clear, it really makes me sound like the fat kid who doesn't know he's fat and wears the medium shirt, belly hanging out. Like that's what I think of. Like I'm a fat kid, no doubt, but I know I'm fat and I dress appropriately. I hate being called Jeffy anything, but Jeffy Scoops was not. That you wanted me to be that. I was not. I was never Jeffy Scoops.
The reason I bring that up is because what has happened in this pregame show all season long is we've had some news break during the pregame show, which has been really cool. Like Markel Wade signing to the team, Mark Orozco being activated. We've always been able to like add something to this pregame show, whether it's the travel situation. We've had some success here.
Was able to get the comment in here instead of the direct messenger. So,
is there any playoff scoop you have that you'd like to share with us? You don't have to, because now the coach is watching. If you've got a scoop that you don't want Jacksonville to find out about the fan base, do you've got anything you'd like to share?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't do it. Can't. I will tell you.
Fair enough.
I will tell you. You're gonna have some fun tonight. You're gonna. When you get all your notes today, guys, you're going to be very excited. That's what I'll tell you. How's that? I won't scoop you. I'll tease him. I see Coach. See, this is the thing. Coach says, tell me the dirt. I can't. No. How about Shatola from Jacksonville? Levack is the same IKEA furniture as me. I order this crap online. I have no idea where it's from. I have no idea. How
about Coach, by the way, real quick? I'll give you a little.
Tell me the dirt, Coach. I'll tell you what, Coach. You text me that I can tell the one thing I know, and I'll do it. But unless you do it, you put it in comments. I'm not doing it.
I'll give Coach a little inside scoop here. This is a true thing that happened locally here in Albany at CBS 6 Sports for 11 o'clock. Just like how the updates are on television, they're about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. Coach got an extended piece, so he got 2.5, and I'm like, I don't think I can get 2.5. They're like, no, we want it because of Coach's conversations that's coming up here. So, Coach, there's a little bragging right this summer here in Albany. You got the longest sports package over the last 4 months because of how good your interview was. It's a true thing.
He said, text me or else. I'll text you. I'll text you what I know. You know what I know. I'm not. Listen, that man, you wrong that man in the information front, and you're out in the cold. Like he'll tell. Like I have gained the trust of Mr. Papu, and I am not going to lose it for any of you. I mean,
nobody's
yeah. Jeff joins the Empresses at halftime, and Jeff is going to do a dance routine at halftime. I mean, let's be honest. If I was going to do a dance routine, it would have to be with Hollis. If it's not with Hollis, I'm not. My rule used to be that I only dance in other countries. I go up to Canada and I'd get crazy in the clubs. Now my rule is I only dance if Mr. Shutdown Island is dancing as well. That's the only time. And then I love this. Coach is he loves that he has the longest package at CBS. He's very happy about that. And again, what are you doing on the internet? I had Shorts on here earlier. Now I got Coach on here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get to work. Only I can take off Saturdays. I would suit up for the last time I was on the field at MVP Arena, I ran full speed into one of the walls because I just wanted to see what it felt like. It hurts, but I would do it in a heartbeat. CP will tell you. Caroline will tell you. I ran into the wall. I'm like, you ever just want to do it? She's like, why would you want it? And all of a sudden, I'm into the wall. And she's like, she's just giving me this look like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Coach Hal, by the way, I know he's going to enjoy this.
Yeah. Now, that's right. You get out of here. I'm done. He goes, Coach says, go Empire. He said he loves us. We love you too, Coach. And then the coach of the assistant head coach, Nani Ware, says go Empire. So there you go. I want to get everybody in there.
The fun part about Empire games, especially if you're a fan, enjoying the atmosphere, whether it's the block party before the game or inside, like if you played, whether you were younger, whether you played in high school or college, like that lead up to the game, when the fire hits and the music hits and the hype up video hits, like it makes you want to go out on the field and be a part of it. And the cool part about the NAL is that like you are a part of the game when balls fly into the stands after the game, the autographs and pictures. Like you just said, you're suited up right now. Like you feel the emotion, like you want to go out there and play.
I want in.
I felt it this morning too. I'm like, there's been a few times in my life post-playing career where I'm like, I actually want to go out and play. And then I thought, I think I hurt my arm sleeping. I'm like, I'm not going back.
Do you know what? You know what's funny? Like I know Bracken and everybody are joking about me doing like dancing with the Empresses. I would much rather get hit by a linebacker than dance with the Empresses. They are good at what they do. I feel like the cracked ribs or whatever the hell I would get from the smack I would take on the field would heal way faster than the embarrassment of me trying to shake my ass on the 25-yard line.
All right, so
I'll be the bottom of the pyramid if they need that.
Right. I'm going to let you pick, Levack. We've got 3 conversations coming up here. We've got a conversation with Coach Menas that people may have missed, offers some insight to the game. We've got a conversation with quarterback Sam Castranova where he reveals his new nickname and talks about the matchup coming up.
How dare he? I know what he's going to try and do in that, and it's not going to happen, Supernova. It's not going to happen.
And we've got the other side of the broadcast team, Andrew Santillo, who's scheduled to join us in a little bit. So where do you want to go first? I think you have a good pulse, a beat of the Empire fans. What would they want to hear next? By the way, if you're watching or listening, you can let us know. What do you want to have next here? Castranova, Coach Menas, or Andrew to join us next? What is your feel right now? We can go any direction you want.
Dorian wants
Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, country and me in an Oklahoma drill. You want a piece of this, Bracken? You want a piece of this country? Come on. I got a couple LBs on you. Let's go. I'm ready.
I haven't seen an Oklahoma drill in so long, and I would love to see one again. They're outlawed,
right?
That's
where you sing the Oklahoma on the field, right? Oh, Oklahoma, right? It's different.
It's not. That is not. We're getting a lot of feedback for Sam Castranova. So, Levack, I'm going to toss to the Sam Castranova interview. Let's keep you around because you're in a different role this week. I want you to react to Sam Castranova's interview here coming up because he, like you said, tries to start something you knew he would start.
How dare he?
He does. All right. I made sure to hit share audio this time so I don't get yelled at. Here's our conversation coming up with Sam Castranova from earlier this week. For the regular season champion of Albany Empire, the top seed in the NAL playoffs. You know him as Sam Castranova, but the last time we spoke, we talked about nicknames. Sam, you have your own nickname, is the rumor out there now.
Well, Supernova, I wasn't the biggest fan of. As you know, Castranova is a little bit Italian, so since all these guys are coming up with their own nicknames these days, I figured I'd throw mine out there.
Is that the Italian stallion? Is that what we see here on our visual side?
Of course.
I promise you, there is no doubt that in the upcoming broadcast on YouTube, you will be referenced as the Italian Stallion more than once during the broadcast.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
All right. So let's talk about the wrap of the regular season. You guys at the top seed. What does it mean to be the top seed, that accomplishment of being a regular season champion heading into the postseason?
I mean, first of all, it's huge just to have us get confidence going into the playoffs. I mean, to be the number 1 seed, to go into the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. I think Coach always says that he wants us to be playing our best ball in July and August, and I think we're doing that right now. So number 1 is confidence, and number 2, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. You can't speak to how big that is for these next couple games.
Your style of play feels like it's evolved all season long, and in particular, the running plays, getting into the end zone. The stats are all across the board: rushing leader, touchdowns. When did that change, or did it ever change where they thought, okay, like, Coach, I can do this. Like, I can make plays both with my arm and with my feet?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it ever changed. I just think that they saw the more and more that they went to me with some of those calls and some of the scrambles, the more and more it kind of works. So if it's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we just kept going with it.
There's one play in particular at the goal line. We've called it the power option on the broadcast, where you get it under center. You either get Calvin Fantz out in front. I don't think you're ever considering pitching it back to somebody, but that seems to be the bread and butter. What is that play called? Is it the power option? Is there another name to it?
Yeah, it's this QB sweep to the boundary. So whenever we see kind of a bigger guy that's at that end that we know we can kind of seal, I got a little play call that I shout out to my lineman, and even in San Antonio, we actually audible to it. We had a different play call. I came under center. I said the word, and then we ran the sweep to the boundary, and it seems to work. I mean, it's just effective because with me running, it gives us an extra blocker, and the fullback's done such a good job on that play, and Silu and Love and all those guys playing guard and tight end, they've done such a good job, and it's like half the time I'm getting in there untouched or barely touched at all. So it's been a huge advantage for us down in the red zone, especially inside the 5.
One of the big advantages you guys have had, especially in home games, is that those games have been so tight in the first half. In the second half in particular, you and your offensive teammates seem to show out, especially in that third and that fourth quarter. Take us into the locker room at halftime. Is it Coach Ware? Is it you? Is it Darius Prince? We know he likes to talk a little bit. Shout out to DP. What happens in that halftime locker room that you guys have found success to really take over games in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we've been doing well, but I think it's how good our defense is playing in the second half that's making us look better, because it's arena football. There's going to be a lot of points scored, but in the second half, our defense is really cracking down and giving up 2 or 3 scores, and we're scoring every drive. So it's just making us look better.
Let's break down Jacksonville, a former teammate now on the Sharks. So many different storylines there, but we're going to focus on the defense. When you scout out that Shark defense, what stands out to you?
Number 10 that plays in the middle, I think his name is Marcus Smith. He's a good player. They play a lot of big coverage, so they put a lot on his shoulders. So he's a good player. They fire on a defense. They like to get after the quarterback. So we're excited to play him for a third time. They got half their team's different now. So we've been watching a lot of film this week, and we're just excited for the opportunity.
That playoff atmosphere, that feel. Take us through practice this week. A little thumps, a little harder. The breaks in the huddle a little bit louder. What's that feel been like in practice?
Yeah, no, coach doesn't really let them hit me very much, but practice definitely had a little bit extra intensity to it. You can feel it. We know what we've been trying to get to all year, and we can feel us kind of starting to get closer to it. So we're just a little bit extra level of focus and just trying to get better every day.
For the Albany Empire fans that have been there all season long, we appreciate the support, but there's going to be maybe a whole new group of Capital Region sports fans who this Saturday might come out and watch you guys play for the first time come playoff time. Give them a reason for the 518 for upstate New York to come out and watch you guys take on the Jacksonville Sharks this Saturday night.
Come on out Saturday night. I mean, we'd love to have you. We got a great atmosphere here. Our owners and Jeff and Matt and all of them do a great job putting on a great family environment. And we love to have you as we can. It's Shark Week, so we're hoping to take down the Sharks.
The social media post by the Empire Squad. Shout out to everybody doing that. It's looked great. He is now known as the Italian Stallion, Sam Castranova. Sam, I appreciate the time during a playoff week. Thank you so much. Best of luck this Saturday. Looking forward to connecting again real soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was brought to you by Adobe Photoshop. It's not happening. I'm sorry, Sam.
What do you mean it's not happening?
It's not happening. I'm not doing it. He tried to get me to go for it. I said no. I get it that he loves his last name, but that's why it's so great. Like, dude, the fact that like when he took over, I'm not going to call these people out, but I got messages in that week from other insiders that he was garbage the year before and we were in trouble. And I went, I watched this guy practice and I don't see what you see. And sure enough, he goes out and just lights it up like a supernova. So it's you know, if he wants to be Sam the Supernova Castranova, that's fine. I'll add words before I switch up to the Italian Stallion. I didn't know the dude was Italian. Okay. All right. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. And it's Supernova is so good. It's such a good name. And you played so well. And I know he's not watching right now. He's dialed into the game. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And by the way, tonight, if I hear you call him Italian Stallion on the broadcast, I'm coming for you. I know where you live.
We will find out if Italian Stallion is used by YouTube or the play-by-play.
Do the votes.
I will.
In the comments right now. Sam Supernova Castranova or Sam the Italian Stallion Castranova. Which one? You be the judge, watchers of the Empire pregame show, Levack and Goz. Brought to you by Techie's Fire and Water Restoration. Your best way back to normal. Check us out online, tefirewater.com. Water damage, fire damage, whatever, we got you.
You will truly have a voice in the broadcast tonight because Andrew Santillo, the voice of the Empire, is going to join us here in a few minutes. So he's going to see these comments, and Levack is going to get in his head here in a little bit when he joins us. But it is the quest for the ring.
Just saying, Mary Jo.
All right.
Way to go, Mary Jo. Nancy, way to go, Nancy. And Nancy asked earlier if I adopted a kid, and I did. He just hasn't moved in yet. So Charlotte, I think he's earned the right to be called whatever he wants to be called. Charlotte Von Schiller just is going to go against me on everything. Charlotte, which one do you like better? Stop. Like, here's a little inside baseball for you, a little inside football. Sam coaches her son, okay, in his off time. Stop kissing his ass, Charlotte. Tell the truth. Supernova's the way to go. You know it. I know it. Cruella DeVille, tell the truth. It's Supernova.
I think whatever Charlotte says is right because I'm afraid of her.
And she doesn't even know where you sit during the game. She knows how to find me. I'm not scared of her. But you know, even her husband's like, LOL, I'm gonna stay out of this one. Supernova from Lisa. Yeah, see, it's Supernova. I'm sorry. Supernova, buddy. That's what you get. You're welcome. Yeah. And you're welcome. I gave you a great nickname and you spit in my face with the Italian Stallion. Especially I got guys from Philly on the team. You say Italian Stallion, they're gonna start running steps. They're gonna think that they gotta do a Rocky movie. No.
I was about to hum the Rocky
Woman up,
song.
Charlotte. Woman up. Tell the truth. You like Supernova too.
I was going to hum Rocky. I have to pay for the rights though. But Lily and David Fine, Jewelers Levack, it is the quest for the ring. The Albany Empire are going for a championship this playoff push. If you want to buy a ring for someone special in your life, Lily and David Fine Jewelers is the place. If you love the Albany Empire, you want to support a family-owned and operated business here in upstate New York, the place to do it is Lily and David Fine Jewelers. I saw David this week. Shout out to him, man. He is an awesome guy. He's got stories for days. He's talking about how the summer's been so different with Saratoga back to normal and people visiting and coming in and out the different days. Shout out to David. Shout out to Alyssa. They're always doing great things to help me for my proposal, my wedding. My wife is on a bachelorette party. That's how she's paid me back to celebrate our engagement. She's out partying.
You've been to 75 bachelor parties. You've been to 75 since I've known you. If she gets to go to one bachelorette party, so be it.
And I love her for that. It's Lily and David Fine Jewelers. 2-for-1 wedding band sales, guys. It is officially wedding season. If you want to pop the question or you want to make sure she looks good, you can find something that fits her style, her fashion, and more. Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you find it. Trust us, we know from experience. Route 50, the shops of Wilton, make the drive up this summer to Lily and David Fine Jewelers. They're going to help you find exactly what she's looking for. Shout out to Lily and David Fine Jewelers.
Yeah. You know what? Charlotte Von Schiller, we're going to war. What do you mean choose one? You refuse to choose which way the game was going to go tonight. I like Supernova, but certainly if he doesn't like it, it's no biggie. No, I gave you concise breakdown of how I feel Carolina versus Columbus will go and said that if I didn't have to pick, I wouldn't. You have to pick, and you picked Supernova just like I did. Stop it. Stop the noise, Charlotte. How dare you? It's a lot easier to talk crap to her when I know I'm not going to be there tonight. And then Lisa says she misses me. I miss you too, Lisa. I'll see you soon. There. Hey,
What's happening?
The voice of the Albany Empire, Andrew Santillo. Levack, I just did the old drop like you used to do to me when a coach is waiting on a hole when I was ripping him. I guess
I didn't rip Santillo.
No. I'm talking about Cattuso. Coach Cattuso from Albany football was the king of that move. I'd say Albany played terrible, and coach would be on line too. What'd you say, guys? Couldn't hear you through the phone.
I used to enjoy that so much, Santillo. What I would do is guys would say something in the commercial like, "Oh man, I can't believe how bad the Great Danes played last night," or whatever. And then like I would go, "Really?" And like I was like, "Dude, you should probably dig into it just out of integrity. You should tell the truth on the air." Meanwhile, I'm like texting Cattuso, "Call now," and like guys would just go on a rant like, "Oh, the defense and this, that, and the other thing." I go, "Really? What do you think?" And all of a sudden, I would just pot up coach, and Cattuso would be like, "Thanks a lot, guys." And you just see guys turn like 3 shades of white. Just, oh no.
Did you hear the Italian Stallion nickname for Sam Castranova, the self-given nickname? Will this be a part of the broadcast? People want to know, is it Supernova or Italian Stallion? What are you going to open with on tonight's broadcast for Sam?
I heard it. I mean, we can, whichever you prefer, I guess.
Which one do you prefer, Santillo?
Well, I prefer Castranova or Supernova.
Thank you.
It's Castranova.
Well, he's the voice of the Albany Empire.
But Italian Stallion, I feel like is
I need some pictures.
That kid's not happy about it at all. Either way,
storming through here.
Did a gate of hell just open up? It sounded like demons screaming at you.
That's our 4-year-old daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's trying to make an appearance here on the pregame show.
Awesome.
There she is.
Said Supernova.
As you've been breaking down this game, Andrew, Levack and I have been previewing it from our angles. Your notes, what stands out to you in this semifinal matchup?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be, it's interesting. These two teams, Albany won the first 2 matchups between these two teams, but they were like a long time ago. I mean, back in April and that down in Jacksonville and then in May in Albany. So, it's a totally different team. I mean, I think what you've got is 4 teams in the playoffs who are basically separated by, percentage points, if you will. I think this game is going to come right down to it. And, I think if things hold true to form, we should see a close game in the first half. And then I think Albany's, what they've done all season has been able to make adjustments and pull away in the second half.
I've been saying that if you're a Jacksonville fan, you have excuses of why you've lost to Albany. You can blame that the quarterback situation was different in week 2. You could blame travel in the home game. Is that a legit excuse? Like, can Jacksonville fans lean on this in this playoff game and say the best Jacksonville team is going to take the field Saturday night in just a few hours?
I think so. I mean, they went through a real surge, right? They were playing real well, when Nelson joined the team. So they I don't know if they're playing their best football of the season, but they are, it's going to be a formidable foe. I mean, they're coming off a loss, but 7-7, and if they play as well as they're capable of, this should be a really good game. But I don't know as they're necessarily playing the best football that they've played this season coming into the playoffs. Whereas I think Albany, riding a 4-game winning streak, is playing. You could argue is playing the best football that they've played all season. So, I mean, to answer your question, I mean, I think Jacksonville fans. You've got the last 2 champions, right? 2019, Jacksonville was the champions, 2021, Albany the champion. So, I think Jacksonville making the playoffs is a real positive for them. They have some injuries. They're not, I guess, at 100%. There's, some bang up. Who's going to play quarterback? Who should be out there? Is it Faithful? Is it Nelson? So I think they've got more moving pieces at this point in the year where obviously, they always say if you got 2 quarterbacks, you've got no quarterbacks, right? Or something. If you're trying to make a decision at this point, you're not in as good a shape as you maybe would like to be. But I think this is going to be a good game, and I think Jacksonville fans should be excited. Obviously they would have preferred to be, having either a home game or, maybe not be that 4 seed and taking on the defending champs. But I think, if they come and bring their A game, they're capable of winning the game.
I can't wait to see which one of you guys quotes me on this one. I think one of the biggest factors is that Devin Wilson, instead of having a locker set up for him today, had to get a pass to get into the building because he's there as a support member of the team, not as a guy. Arguably their best player isn't going to be on the field.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, he's was a second team all NAL guy, but I mean, going all the way back, I mean, first team all NAL in 2018 and 2019. I mean, he's a big receiver, 6'3". He's a guy who's able to take over a game kind of, sort of like a Darius Prince, even though I don't think anyone's as good as Darius Prince. But he's their number one grade A receiver. And, to not have them out on the field means, other guys like Murray and Rob Jones are going to have to step up.
The first half in particular, I know this has been a storyline for 3 home games in a row of how a first half plays out, because Albany and the opposing team, whoever it might have been, have always been so close, if not trailing. Is it again the key for this playoff game where if Albany can actually be leading by potentially double digits, they can run away with it in the second half? That jumps out to me. I'm not sure if that's the storyline that intrigues you the most in these early parts of the semifinal round coming up.
Yeah, well, I think if you've got 4 choices, right? If you've got Albany wins close, Jacksonville wins close, Albany wins big, or Jacksonville wins big, I certainly think it has obviously the potential to be a very close game, and either team could win a close game. But I think if you had to choose between Albany winning big or Jacksonville winning big, I think you'd say Albany, just because of the way they've played in second halves of this season. They've been able to go in. It was a couple weeks ago they were leading Orlando 41-40, and then the Predators basically didn't score in the second half. They scored a defensive touchdown and then won really, really late in the game. So, if you had to make a decision that way, I think you'd say Albany is probably the team that could pull away in the second half. I don't see, especially at home, I don't see Jacksonville, winning big in this game.
Andrew Santillo, alongside me, for some reason he's put up with me all season. We're going to be a part of the broadcast call 7:00 tonight on YouTube. If you're not coming out to MVP Arena, watch the game just like that, but be a part of the broadcast team, or I'll tell you more often than not, be a part of MVP Arena, join the crowd. Andrew, appreciate the time, man, on a game day. I will see you in about 2.5 hours. We'll probably soon after there before 7. Okay. Just for the visual audience. Bye, my friend. I'll catch you later. Thank you for doing this.
We almost got interrupted by my daughter coming through looking for tissue. It's just
she wants to take Gaz's job. She's in for the color commentary job next year. So
yeah. We were almost going viral for who knows what.
I just wish she ran in and swore, like, "Are you on that bleeping thing again, Dad?" Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah. That would have been awesome for you guys. That's I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, I think both of these, I heard you guys earlier, both of these semifinals, I think are going to be great. We're going to, I'm sure, be having our, Bo in the production truck. They've broken our little monitor up there so that we can watch the other game, which was great last week. We had the Carolina game on last week. I'm sure we'll have them on again, and we'll be watching them and filling people in on the score as they watch our broadcast, or they're flipping around. It's going to be a great semifinal matchup, both sides.
Have a great call, my friend. Looking forward to catching you up again soon, and I'll bring some garlic fries up. This will be dinner tonight.
We'll see you in a couple hours.
Right. Later. Have a good call, man.
All right. Thanks.
There you go. Andrew Santillo right there.
I like this one. So Dorian pointed out, Dorian Redden, who makes amazing graphics for the team. He said Wilson holds the NAL record for 31 consecutive games with a touchdown. Do you know who stopped him? Do you know what team was able to keep him out of the end zone? You are correct. There you are. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So, and look, he's a special player, and obviously, that referee situation where he hit him, he blindsided him. He had to be punished for that. It sucks that he's not going to be on the field as a fan of football, but as a fan of the Empire. If they want to go ahead and end his suspension after this game, I'm okay with it.
I want to give love to our friend Jared Lozier, by the way, Northeastern Insurance. If you're looking to save cash,
Lozier, he's gonna be there tonight, by the way.
Yes, he is. That's why. Yeah. And happy birthday to Jared Lozier.
Oh, it's his birthday?
It was his birthday. How about that? 518-956-3753. This would make our pregame show. We love Jared. It's his birthday. He's gonna be up at the game. If you're listening, this is his cell phone. He wants you to contact you about insurance prices. Shoot him a text, happy birthday from the Empire Pregame Show. Here's his number, 518-956-3753. And he's probably going to text you back and talk about insurance quotes. It's so important here this summer, especially with the fall coming up. You want more of that expendable income, as I like to call it, that stuff you want to spend on the vacations and, who knows, some sports wagering, whatever it might be. You got to save money with your insurance policies, whether it's your home, your car, your small business. You might just set it and let it go. Well, find out if you can get a better price today with just that one text or that one email to our friend Jared Lozier, the birthday boy. Make his birthday special. Text him 518-956-3753. Happy birthday. Can you save me money? Or email him jaredl@nemail.com. Again, one more time, jaredl@nemail.com. Jared Lozier, his birthday will be awful if you don't text or email him for about an insurance quote. Don't have that guilt sit over your head.
Text him, hey, you up, ... and then a second text to save me money. He'll love it. He'll love it. Hey, you up, ... to save me money. And he'll grow hair. He'll be so excited.
Confuse him and text him, new phone, who dis?
Right. Just, flip the roles on him. Flip the roles on him. Be like, I want a new phone, but I can't because you haven't saved me money yet, Jared. Charlotte Von Schiller wants to know if she's filling in for me tonight. Are you willing to tell Sam his nickname is Supernova and not Italian Stallion? If you are, then yes, you can fill in for me on the premises this evening. So that's the deal.
You ready to hear from Coach Menas, his scouting report for the game coming up?
Very much so. Let's do it.
All right. Coach Tom Menas joined us earlier this week, as you might have heard earlier in the pregame show. He got extended time on CBS 6 Sports because of how great this conversation is. Here's Coach Menas.
Quest for another championship this Saturday inside the MVP Arena as they take on the Jacksonville Sharks. 7 o'clock kickoff set. We're joined by the head coach of the Albany Empire, Coach Tom Menas. And Coach, first, let's talk about a regular season championship for your franchise and your team. You guys are the top seed in the upcoming playoffs. What does an accomplishment like that mean for your players being the best team overall this past regular season?
I think it's a vindication of sorts. There's two sides of it. One is for Coach Ware and myself, because we're the holdovers, if you will. It shows that what we've created here works with different rules, different personnel, the logistics of the whole thing. So that in itself is we're really proud of that. Damon and I are very proud of that. The other side of it is for the players, anytime you finish the regular season in first place.
Hey, Google, what's this song?
Like I said, it vindicates what you've been saying the entire year, which is, I think one of the fans quoted me in an article, and he said, basically, Coach Menas said, don't think you know the ending to this book yet because we haven't finished writing it. And I kind of like that. And I think that's the case with us right now is that, a lot of people wrote us off. Your partner in crime, Levack, made a comment one time. He said, you can kick us when we're down. Just make sure you don't pull a hamstring because you're going to need to get up and run when we get up. and I love that. Actually, I stole it now, so it's mine. It's not his. But no, it's that kind of thing, that we never doubted us. But we've stuck together as a group. We've encouraged each other. The players have been tremendous. The coaches, diligent in our efforts, so I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment. That means a lot to me personally to do it 2 years in a row, because it's hard to win 2 years in a row of anything. So it was really special.
So many different things this season has had, the ups and the downs, the challenges. But let's focus on that Ironman rule in particular. You kind of gave me a little tease here, a little hint to that, because in the preseason, I know you heard it, that some people wondered, why does the Albany Empire roster look different than other rosters? And I know you took a little pride in that, saying, okay, we'll find out what happens. How would you describe, though, the overall Ironman element to the league? Frustrating, exciting, challenging? How would you describe that regular season new element to this league?
It's exciting, but it's different. It takes away specialists in general. You get 2 offense, 2 defense, but I'm talking about a defensive line or an offensive line, or a particular cornerback or linebacker that would normally play straight up platoon football. And, a lot of people gave me a lot of grief on the way I recruited. and they thought I was recruiting like a normal AFL style team or NAL style team. And that really wasn't the case. The truth of the matter is this, because I'm also the GM, the way I recruit is pretty simple. I find the absolute best player I can find. We did it that way in the NFL. We did that in the CFL. Sometimes if you're looking for a quarterback and that quarterback is maybe, a one slot on your board, but there's a linebacker who's actually better at being a linebacker than that quarterback is, I take the linebacker. I'm never going to leave the best on the board. I'm going to always go after the absolute best football players. Then I think as a coaching staff, it's our responsibility to cultivate their talent to fit our game. But the real kicker is Ironman football is not a big deal because most of these guys have played both sides of the ball through high school, junior high school, even some in college, or with other football teams. Oh yeah, coach, I was a wide receiver, but I also played DB, so they're great athletes. It's just building a scheme around their talent. I think where a lot of coaches struggle is they sit in the off season and they draw up a playbook and they have no idea who their personnel is yet. And we do it kind of opposite that. We get our personnel and then design the playbook to exploit them and their talents. And so we knew it would take a minute. And the other side of it is when you have a team like this, I said this all year, guys, is that when you coach an all-star team, you got all-star people and they're all alphas. And every one of those guys wants to be the guy. And it takes a minute for them to realize when they don't have to be that guy. Darius Prince probably exemplifies it better than anybody because Darius has said to me on more than one occasion, make me the decoy on this play. Let me run down the field and grab two of their guys to chase me, and then you can throw that 8-yard hitch and get the first down, right? Not a lot of MVP caliber candidates are going to say that. They're going to say, just throw me the ball, I'll get it. I don't care what the coverage is. And he probably could make the catch too. But the point is that he's willing to, for the bigger picture. So that kind of leaks down into the locker room, leaks down into the, practice. And then guys start realizing, even on defense the other day, I had a conversation with an all-star defensive player. And I said, yeah, this isn't your play. He kind of looked at me like, what the heck are you talking about? I said, that's not your play. I said, this isn't your play. That's his play. You're going to set him up so he gets to make the sack. And he goes, okay, I can do that. And it takes time to get to that point though, because every great player wants the ball with 10 seconds on the clock. I mean, how many of us as kids sat in our driveway shooting jump shots or, throwing a football around saying, then the crowd goes wild and we're going to do, well, we're just nothing but big kids. We want to do that too.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing wrong with being competitive, wanting to play. If you have a bunch of those guys on the roster and on the team, they have those moments where they can shine, especially come playoff time. 7 o'clock kickoff set for MVP Arena. The Empire hosts the Jacksonville Sharks in the semifinal round, a team you guys have faced a few times this season that you know well. There's some interesting storylines at that quarterback position for sure, but when you've been looking at this Jacksonville team, scouting them, watching film, what stands out to you that makes this Shark team so dangerous?
Dangerous. I think the thing that universally is agreed upon by my whole staff is that they're very athletic. Like they're comparable. I don't want to say comparable, but they're. I think Coach Burley kind of built a team now. They're all athletic. There's not super obese guys or or exaggerated height guys or this or that. They're just athletes. They look like athletes. That's the one thing I think that strikes me the most is just the caliber of athletes that he's put together. Now, I like our guys better. I think we match up really good with this football team. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I think the first time we beat them by 1. The second time we beat them, I think we beat them by, 20 something odd points. Right. And then I'm looking forward to hopefully doing the same thing this time. And again, they've added players. They've gotten better. But so have we. We've gotten better too. So I think it's going to be a great, great game.
Looking forward to calling the action Saturday night. Winner goes on to the 2022 NAL Championship game. Before I let you go, Coach, for Capital Region sports fans who have not had the opportunity to watch you guys play yet and thinking about maybe this is the first time they're going to watch the Empire play at home, give them a reason why they got to come out Saturday night and support your squad.
I think the biggest reason is what I've been reiterating all week is that
I'm Eileen, and I'm a content creator and entrepreneur at Lavender. I began using Adobe Premiere Pro in 2014 as an outlet to share all the lessons I was learning as I was.
We produced a championship football team for you. This is going into the second year. We've done all the heavy lifting. All you got to do is show up and have a beer. Okay. I really think if you are a true fan, or if you're just even intrigued by it, to see something as special as we put together here in the last 2 seasons, I don't think people truly realize how remarkable that is, right? And these kids that come here, these players, I call them kids because obviously I'm old school, they're young school, but these kids that come here, guys, they leave their families. Many of them have kids, married, significant partners, moms and dads. Crisis is going on at home, and they grind through it by being here, and don't make millions of dollars. And so the closest thing that they have to reassurance that they're doing the right thing are the fans. So when you put 1,000, 2,000 people in the arena that really love them, they appreciate it. They really do. Put 5,000 in there, then watch us play. Because it will be something scary. Because they're just waiting for that moment. They're waiting for the acknowledgement of what they've accomplished. They're waiting to hear the roar of 5, 8, 9,000 people. And I find it extremely difficult to believe. As much as I love my friends down in Orlando, I'm tight with the owner and the coach and all those people. How they're getting 8,000 people and can't win a ball game. And we're second year in a row, winning the regular season, competing for another national championship. I just hope, you want us to be competitive? You be competitive, fans. Show them that we can do it too. And that would be a great thing. Because I think, guys, once someone comes once, it's never been, they're coming back. Once people who were fans before come back and get to be around their fellow fans or fellow compadres, if you will, that, and enjoying the game, I think that'll just become a regular habit.
No doubt. Coach Menas, best of luck this Saturday. Good luck to your squad. A victory puts you guys in the championship game for the second consecutive season. Looking forward to calling the action. Talk again soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. And like I said, go Empire.
Love that. Maintain the reign. He's so right, too. If we could get 3, 4, 5, 8,000 people in there, I mean, the guys play their asses off already. It's different. And the people who are there, like, this is the one thing I want to be clear. Like, just because we want more people doesn't mean we don't appreciate the people who are there. We have the best fans. It's amazing the amount of noise 2,000 people can make. We just want to amplify it. We just want to amplify it.
From the fans to the staff to the players, the coaching staff, the Empresses. Shout out to the Empresses.
Speaking of the Empresses, Grace,
shout out to Grace.
Girl Grace G. Good luck from the Empresses. She's awesome. She does so much to help me out, especially in the off season and stuff. So
shout out to all of them. And also, Coach, how much are you getting paid off of that interview? That was like 5 ads that ran during. I don't know how Coach made that happen during that.
Well, I think it's important when you think about that to remember that Coach drives to work every day in a Foggs Automotive pickup truck. Thanks to our friend Coach Hal, Foggs Automotive, foggycredit.com.
And if Coach is looking for a new AC,
I got one more in for him. I got one more in for Coach.
Right. One more for Coach. And one more for Johnstone Supply in Troy. If you're on 6th Avenue in Troy, don't forget, proud sponsors of Godzilla Media and the Albany Empire pregame show is where you can find your new AC unit. Shout out to George and his crew over at 6th Avenue in Troy. Johnstone Supply in Troy, always helping you stay cool all summer long. Proud sponsors of our baseball coverage on Godzilla Media. Visit them, 6th Avenue in Troy. Check them out on Facebook right now. If you're watching on Facebook, just go over to Johnstone Supply NY. Give them a like, leave them a comment, say thank you for the Albany Empire pregame show. George, you're the man. We loved hearing you on Getting There with Gods and the Johnstone Supply in Troy story. Johnstone Supply in Troy. Give me a call today, 518-272-5922. 518-272-5922. Say you want the John Goodman AC unit. Or just say John Goodman. Confuse them. Just say you want to stay cool this summer. Johnstone Supply in Troy.
Oh man. That's I'm so like I'm getting like bummed out that I'm not going to be there tonight. I will be there in a way, and you'll see that if you get your tickets and go tonight. Of course, Special Olympics will be honored this evening. Playoff football, second year straight that we host the Sharks for this, and it's hard. It's hard. Like I love these guys. Like hearing Coach talk about these guys, hearing Sam Castranova, Supernova, if you will. It just sucks not being there. So like it causes me pain to not be there. And some of you will sit and watch this thing on YouTube when you can 100% be there. Like we got tickets for like $20. You know what I mean? Like you can just go to these games. These guys are totally putting it all on the line for you. And, as the guy who sees their medical reports once in a while and stuff like that, obviously I can't talk about them, but these guys fight their ass off for you, fight their ass off for Albany, and they all want to be here. So get your ass in there. Go help out.
I think it's a great way to end the pregame show. Usually,
except for 10 minutes from now, DJ D Scott music out in the atrium.
Shout out to D Scott, man. He's going to crush it. Thank you for being a part of the show. Levack, I feel like I usually ask for advice. That's a great way to end it. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. Go back and listen and download for episodes on the Levack and Goz side for audio. There's one more plug before we get off. Levack and Goz, download, subscribe, rate, and review on Spotify and Apple, where you can listen to past pregame shows and future shows on the way.
And just sending love to Coach Hal. Love you, Coach Hal. Thinking of you. I know you got some stuff going on. You're my guy. Appreciate you, brother. I'll be here if you need me.
Go Empire.
Go Empire. Maintain the reign.